Hey everyone, today let's talk about something we all go through, getting sick. We're going to go a little deeper though. We'll get into those first little signals your body sends out, how germs actually spread, and most importantly, what you can do to build up a stronger defense system. So let's dive in.
You know that feeling, right? It's not like you're full-blown sick yet, but something's just off. Well, that's not just in your head. There's actually a name for it, the prodromal phase. It's your body's first little warning sign that your immune system is starting to fire up and get ready for a fight.
Sometimes that first sign is on your skin. An itch is a classic signal. It's your body's alarm system going off in a very specific spot. Your immune cells are releasing chemicals to deal with an irritant, whether that's a mosquito bite or something like the chickenpox virus.
Or maybe you get this one, feeling a bit lightheaded. This is a signal from your whole body. When your immune system goes on high alert, it can mess with your blood flow and hydration a little, leaving you with that dizzy, kind of weird feeling. It's a big clue that your body is shifting its energy, and you should probably listen.
And yep, this is the phrase we all reach for. It's our brain putting it all together. That little itch or that dizzy feeling. When we say we're coming down with something, we're basically describing that early phase, that moment the battle inside our bodies has officially kicked off.
So once that battle starts inside you, the next big question is, when does it become a problem for other people? And that brings us to how illnesses actually travel from one person to the next.
Okay, this sounds a little over the top, but it comes from a really smart, deep-seated instinct. We naturally want to put some space between us and someone who's sick. But what does it really, truly mean for something to be contagious?
So here's the deal. A contagious illness is caused by a germ that's really good at jumping from one person to another. The flu is a perfect example. Scientists even have a way to measure this. They estimate how many people one sick person is likely to infect. The higher that number, the more contagious it is. Simple as that. So how do these germs get around? Well, pretty much through everyday life. Touching someone is an obvious one. But also, when we cough or sneeze, we're sending out tiny droplets that can hang in the air. And don't forget about surfaces. Germs left on a doorknob, for instance, create a little trap for the next person who comes along.
Okay, so let's take a step back. We know how contagious stuff spreads, but is that the only way we get sick? Turns out, no. There are actually two totally different types of illnesses we need to talk about.
This chart makes the difference pretty clear. On one side, you have infectious diseases, the ones you catch from germs. On the other side are non-infectious ones, which are caused by things like your genes or your lifestyle. But here's the really interesting part. They can be connected. For example, a bad diet can weaken your immune system, making you way more likely to catch the flu. A rash is a great way to understand this difference. A rash is just irritated skin, right? But the cause is what matters. It could be from a contagious disease like measles, or it could be a non-infectious thing like an allergic reaction. Same symptom, but a completely different story behind it.
Now, while some diseases just cause a little rash, others are so dangerous that they get their own special, very dramatic-sounding word. And that word is biohazard.
It sounds scary, right? But it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. Bio just means life, and hazard means danger. So it's any living thing, like a virus or bacteria, that's a major threat. To handle them, scientists have 4 biosafety levels. Level 1 is for low-risk stuff, but level 4, that's for the deadliest germs on the planet.
Look, learning about all this isn't about being scared. It's about knowing what to do. It's about empowerment. So with all this info, what's our game plan? Let's get into the practical steps we can all take to stay as healthy as possible.
I want you to think of this like you have 2 lines of defense. First, you have things like washing your hands and keeping your distance from sick people. That's all about reducing your exposure to germs in the first place. Then you have the other stuff: good food, sleep, exercise. That's about strengthening your immune system so it's ready for anything that gets past your first line of defense. You really need both.
Let's just focus on sleep for a second, because it is huge. That number you see, 7 to 8 hours, is so important. Why? Well, during deep sleep, your body is literally building its immune army. It's manufacturing the proteins it needs to fight off infections. So sleep isn't a luxury. It's absolutely non-negotiable for a strong immune system.
Of course, no matter what we do, sometimes we just get sick. And when that happens, the game plan changes. It's not about prevention anymore. It's about recovery and, just as importantly, responsibility. Rest and water are for you, but staying home, that's for everyone else. It's the #1 thing you can do to stop the chain of infection and protect your community. All right, let's wrap this all up. We've talked about the first signs of sickness, the science of how it spreads, and the strategies to stay healthy. So what's the big idea here? What's the main takeaway?
It really all boils down to this. Your health is one of your most valuable assets. And when you understand the basics, how your body defends itself, how germs travel, it changes things. Being healthy isn't just something that happens to you. It becomes something you do through small, smart choices every single day.
And that brings us to the final question for you. Don't feel like you have to change everything all at once. That never works. Just focus on one small upgrade. Maybe it's finally committing to getting more sleep. Maybe it's just being better about washing your hands. What's the one powerful habit you can start today?